Hello, this is Adam with Dream Made Productions. This battle report is made possible by the very kind donations of viewers like you. Thank you. If you would like to help this channel improve quality and expand, please visit my Patreon page, link below.
It is the 31st century, and mankind is once again at war. The battlefields of the future are dominated by huge robotic war machines known as battle mechs.
After the battle outside the Black Knight's base, Sir Gillespie and Lady Garth left the base in the hands of the returning Black Knight siege lance and departed, trying to reach the fortified Rasselhog barracks before the Cutthroats could. The mech warriors of Siege Lance waited for word when, without warning, the base's alarms sounded. The Cutthroats' advance on the Rasselhog recruits had been a feint. Led personally by Draxfell and his new Star League-era Battlemaster, the Cutthroat Slaughter Lance had broken off from the others and turned south. While the light lances of the Cutthroats began to board their dropship, Draxfell approached the Black Knight base. Just before entering sensor range of the base, Draxfell ordered all his units to transmit a pre-recorded message on all channels. The message served to delay the base's call for aid, while also demoralizing the Black Knight defenders. Drax had personally compiled the video and audio out of recordings of his most savage torture sessions. Black Knight Siege Lance prepared to defend their base while limiting their comms traffic, lest they endure the horrifying screams of Draxfell's victims. Turn 1. The Trebuchet holds his ground. Draxfell's Battlemaster climbs on top of the hill in front of him, getting a clear view of the Black Knight base. The Thunderbolt walks forward. The Longbow stands still, preparing his LRMs. The Hunchback stays hidden behind the base walls, waiting for an opportunity. The Warhammer walks on top of the hill with the Battlemaster. The Awesome runs forward. The Panther walks south, joining the others. The Warhammer opens up first, firing his PPC at the Thunderbolt but misses. The Awesome also fires on the Thunderbolt with his 2 PPCs but also misses. The Panther joins in, firing his PPC at the Thunderbolt, but also misses his distant target. The Hunchback cannot fire. The Trebuchet fires his 2 LRM-15s at the Awesome, but all the missiles fail to hit. Draxfell lines up and fires his PPC at the Thunderbolt but misses. The Thunderbolt returns fire at the Pirates, but his LRMs fail to hit the Awesome. The Longbow unleashes both LRM-20s at the Awesome, but none of the missiles manage to score a hit. Turn 2. Draxfell runs forward in his Battlemaster. The Thunderbolt backs away. The Longbow prepares his next LRM volley. The Awesome runs forward. The Panther runs after his Lancemates. The Warhammer runs off the hill and into the crater left by the Cutthroats' guillotine's detonation just hours earlier. The Hunchback continues waiting for his chance. The Trebuchet aims his LRMs. The Cutthroat Warhammer fires his PPC at the Trebuchet but misses. The Thunderbolt fires on the Awesome with his LRM-15 but again cannot hit the Pirate mech. The Longbow targets the Awesome, firing both LRM-20 banks and adding an additional 5 missiles, but none of them hit. The Hunchback still cannot engage. Draxfell fires his Battlemaster's PPC at the Trebuchet but misses. The Awesome fires 2 PPCs at the Trebuchet but also misses. The Trebuchet fires both LRM-15s at the Awesome. Some of the missiles finally manage to find the mech, leaving pot marks in the mech's center torso, left torso, and right arm armor. The Panther follows his Lance's lead, firing his PPC at the Trebuchet, but also misses. Turn 3. The Hunchback and Trebuchet hold their ground. The Warhammer, Panther, and Awesome all run forward. The Thunderbolt and Longbow also stand still. Draxfell continues to run forward in his Battlemaster. The Panther fires his PPC again at the Trebuchet but misses. The Awesome fires 2 PPCs at the Trebuchet, one managing to damage the left torso. The Thunderbolt returns fire on the Awesome with his large laser and LRM-15. The laser misses, but missiles again impact the Assault Mech's right leg, right torso, and left leg. Draxfell fires on the Trebuchet with his PPC but misses. The Hunchback still cannot fire. The Longbow lines up on the Awesome and empties all of his missile banks at the Awesome. Over half of the missiles crash into the Assault Mech, peppering the mech in explosions. The Trebuchet also fires on the Awesome with his LRM racks, adding additional explosions to the left torso and right leg. The Warhammer fires one of his PPCs at the Trebuchet, but misses. Turn 4. The Awesome pushes through the explosions and runs full speed into the base. The Thunderbolt pilot stands still, lining up on the charging pirates. Draxfell charges his Battlemaster into the base, passing his Awesome. The Trebuchet holds his position in the firing line. The Panther runs after the Battlemaster and Awesome into the Black Knight base. The Hunchback walks, getting behind the Panther and Awesome. The Longbow holds his ground. The Warhammer runs south to engage the Hunchback. The Thunderbolt opens up on the Awesome with nearly his entire arsenal. Aiming high, his large laser melts nearly all the armor protecting the pirate's head, while 2 medium lasers dig into the left arms, and a short-range missile and machine gun burst chip away the armor of the center torso. The Trebuchet fires his 3 medium lasers at the Awesome, one hitting the right torso. Draxfell, finally up close, targets the Trebuchet with his Battlemaster's quad medium lasers. Half miss, but the other 2 hit the center and right torsos. The Hunchback Alpha strikes the rear of the Awesome, missing with all but a single medium laser, which manages to damage the right leg. He kicks out at the Panther, but again misses. The Longbow again blacks out the sun, sending all 50 missiles at the Warhammer, missiles exploding on the Warhammer's right torso and arm. The Awesome, seeing an opportunity, pulls the trigger, sending all 3 streams of charged particles into the Trebuchet, 2 hitting the center torso and 1 melting away at the left torso. Seeing the stricken Trebuchet, the Panther fires his PPC into the now glowing Black Knight mech. The PPC rips out what little remained of the left torso, making its way into the supports of the center torso, nearly destroying the fusion engine there. The Warhammer, seeing a kill, switches targets from the Hunchback to the burning Trebuchet and fires both PPCs, but misses. Turn 5. Draxfell walks north, eagerly trying to engage the Black Knight Siege Lance leader's Longbow. The Trebuchet runs away at full speed, swinging around the Cutthroats trying to get behind them. The Warhammer stands still, letting the Trebuchet come to him. The Panther engages his jump jets, leaping over the Hunchback and Warhammer. The Awesome holds his ground. The Thunderbolt runs around the Awesome, getting behind him. The Hunchback backs away, getting into melee with the Warhammer. The Longbow walks away from the Battlemaster. The Warhammer targets the way too close Hunchback with his dual medium lasers, dual small lasers, and his SRM-6. The medium lasers damage the right torso and right arm, while the small lasers hit the right arm and left leg, and some of the missiles damage the left torso and right arm. The Awesome, surprised by his prey, holds his fire, cooling his mech. The Trebuchet cannot fire, as his heat sinks cannot keep up with his engine's heat. The Thunderbolt fires his 3 medium lasers, his SRM-2, and both machine guns at the Warhammer. 2 of the medium lasers hit the mech's center torso, and a machine gun burst rakes across the left torso. Draxfell curses but holds his fire. The Hunchback fires his massive AC-20 and his lasers at the Warhammer. The autocannon rounds rip off all the armor of the left arm. The medium lasers both hit the left leg, and the small laser melts some of the armor of the left torso. He then kicks out, further damaging the mech's left leg. The Panther fires his SRM-4 as he lands at the Hunchback, missiles damaging the right torso and center torso. He kicks out, hitting the right leg. The Longbow tries to cool his overheating mech, firing a single LRM-20 rack at Draxfell's Battlemaster, but misses. Turn 6. The Hunchback backs away. The Panther walks back, taking cover near the gate, trying to stay away from the Hunchback. The Longbow runs out of the base's gate. The Awesome turns around. The Trebuchet runs around, getting behind the Panther. The Warhammer walks forward, trying to box in the Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt runs around the Warhammer, getting into melee with it. Draxfell turns as Battlemaster and runs back, chasing the Thunderbolt. Drax targets the Black Knight Longbow, firing his medium lasers, SRM-6 and machine gun. The Longbow takes hit after hit, lasers damaging the right arm, right leg, left leg, missiles slamming into the left arm, center torso, and 2 crack into the armor of the mech's head. The Black Knight Lance Leader coughs up blood as his mech stumbles. The Awesome follows Drax's attack, aiming his PPCs, firing all 3 at the Longbow. The charged particles smash into the head of the Longbow, leaving the cockpit a melted slag pot. The Trebuchet punches out at the Panther, managing to land a blow on the smaller mech's head. The Warhammer targets the Thunderbolt with his short-range weapons, peppering the mech in laser and missile fire, then lands a kick on the right leg. The Hunchback fires his AC-20 at the Panther, the autocannon rounds ripping the left arm completely off the light mech. The Thunderbolt mech warrior replies to the Warhammer with his large laser, 3 medium lasers, SRM-2, and machine gun. The large laser melts into the left leg, while a medium laser hits the center torso and head. One of the SRMs explodes inside the now unprotected left leg, destroying the upper and lower leg actuators. Rounds from the machine gun rake the mech's left torso, while he lands a kick on the right leg. The Panther fires his PPC at the Hunchback, damaging the left arm. Turn 7. Draxfell holds his ground in his Battlemaster, tasting victory. The Awesome stands with him. The Trebuchet backs away. The Hunchback runs up to support the Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt, overheating, backs around the Warhammer. The Warhammer stays in hand-to-hand combat with the Thunderbolt. The Panther chases down the Trebuchet, trying to keep him from escaping. Draxfell, determined to finish his enemies, Alpha strikes the Thunderbolt. The PPC hitting the left torso, while the medium lasers, missiles, and machine guns pepper the mech. The Hunchback again targets the enemy Warhammer with an Alpha strike. The AC-20 rounds smash into the left torso, while the medium lasers damage the larger mech's center torso and left arm. The Thunderbolt tries to cool his mech while continuing to engage the pirates. He fires 2 of his medium lasers, his SRM-2 and machine guns, at the Warhammer. The lasers damage the center torso and left leg, destroying it. The mech falls, causing the missiles to miss, but the hail of machine gun fire rake the center torso, damaging the mech's gyro and nearly destroying the engine. The Black Knight mech warrior crashes his foot down on the center torso of the Cutthroats Warhammer, getting some measure of revenge for his Lance Leader as the mech breaks in half. The Awesome responds with 2 PPCs, hitting the Thunderbolt's left torso and right leg. The Trebuchet punches out at the Panther, but misses. The Panther fires his SRM-4 at the Trebuchet, missiles hitting the right torso and left leg. He manages to swing out, punching the mech's head. Turn 8. The Awesome holds his ground. The Trebuchet runs back to the Thunderbolt. The Panther turns around. Draxfell tries to ignore the heat of his mech and prepares to fire again. The Hunchback runs over the fallen Longbow, but trips, falling flat on his center torso. He stands and continues into melee with the Battlemaster. The Thunderbolt walks through the rubble of the still smoking Warhammer, engaging the Awesome in melee combat. The Panther fires his PPC at the Trebuchet, hitting the left leg. The Awesome fires his 3 PPCs almost point blank at the Hunchback. 2 of the PPCs hit, one melting away armor of the center torso, while the other damages the left leg. He then uses a small laser on the Thunderbolt, hitting the left torso. He kicks out with his assault mech's foot, ripping the right leg off the mech, causing the Thunderbolt to crash into his right and center torso. The Trebuchet is already starting to overheat just from moving, holds his fire. Drax fell weary of the hunchback, but not wanting to risk shutting down his mech with such a large autocannon nearby, elects to fire only his lasers and machine guns. The lasers and machine guns mostly hit, but it is the kick that hits the smaller mech's left leg, destroying it and causing the medium mech to fall at his feet. Lifting up, the hunchback mech warrior fires his weapons up at the Awesome, but only a single medium laser hits the right leg. Likewise, the Thunderbolt fires up at the Awesome, trying to bring the mech down with it. His large laser hits the left leg, and an SRM hits the center torso, but the rest of his weapons miss. Turn 9. Unable to move and looking up at the two assault mechs, the Thunderbolt mech warrior ejects. The trebuchet, overheating and unable to use his weapons, begins to flee. The pirate Awesome drops the 3 large barrels of his PPCs down at the hunchback. The Black Knight hunchback mech warrior ejects. Aftermath. Despite a desperate defense, Siege Lance was unable to defend the Black Knight base. The Cutthroats lived up to their reputation of brutality. When Sir Ian Gillespie and Lady Sarah Garth returned, they found the base destroyed and the support personnel's remains hung from the ruins. Drax Fell had used his Battlemaster's machine guns on the ejecting Thunderbolt mech warrior's parachute, causing him to plummet to his death. The hunchback pilot managed to join up with the base defenders, but he also fell in their last stand. The retreating trebuchet mech warrior pushed his mech as fast as he could, but due to the damaged engine, he was forced to shut down to cool his mech. The following Panther attacked and destroyed his helpless mech, but he managed to escape on foot. The Rasselhog forces would later find him months later, half-starved, but alive. The Cutthroats' attack on Thule was a shock to the Black Knights. At the time, the Black Knights did not know how, but Drax Fell had managed to rebuild his petty raiders into a fighting force capable of not only striking within the Inner Sphere, but defeating both the Rasselhog recruits and the Black Knight trainers. The sole remaining Black Knight lance would call for heavy reinforcement, which would arrive, but the Cutthroats had already gone. Theodore Kurita had all the proof he needed that the equipment arriving from Comstar was operational and effective even in the hands of poorly trained pirates. He would break ties with Drax Fell, ordering his internal security force agents to eliminate all evidence of Combine involvement before departing the Cutthroats. Theodore's caution proved to be a wise move. In February of 3035, the Black Knights canceled 80% of their upcoming contracts. For 3 months, the nights were all but dark. Then in June, even Comstar took notice as a fleet of armed jump ships departed Inner Sphere space. ROM agents calculated the Black Knight force at 3 full regimental combat teams. While the armed jump ship, or Jolly Roger concept, was nothing new, the fact that the Black Knights were able to arm and deploy 3 such vessels in under 90 days suggested they possessed docking facilities far beyond what was previously believed. Perhaps more alarming to intelligence agencies was the size of the deployment. Black Knight forces had always been observed in relatively small number, from single lance deployment to battalion force. For over 30 years, the intelligence agencies of Inner Sphere had rolled their eyes at the idealistic Black Knight do-gooders. Suddenly, the small, secretive fraternity of so-called Knights went from an odd mystery to being reclassified into a military force capable of full planetary invasions. Further, ROM had been aware of the Black Knights' unique attempts at reinventing lost technology of the Star League. So far, ROM had tolerated their eccentric but ultimately inferior versions of lost tech. This also was about to change. The Black Knight's campaign against the Cutthroats was not just to settle a score once and for all, but also as a field test of equipment that, if not for the discovery of the Helm Memory Core, may have become the new standard for the Inner Sphere. Hello, this is Adam with Dream Productions. Thank you for watching my content. It really means a lot that you have given me the chance to entertain you. If you would like to support the channel, please visit my Patreon at patreon.com/DreamMadeProductions, linked below. Also below is a link for PayPal, or links if you would like to send crypto, if that's more your thing. Please know any amount that you give will be cherished and used to upgrade equipment and improve the channel. You can also help the channel by subscribing, turning on notifications, liking, commenting, and sharing my channel with anyone you think might be interested. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you enjoy the battle reps that are to come.